so we're gonna try it. At least he can come home and eat real food, sleep in his own bed. Yeah. He's pretty weak though. He tried to walk downstairs, couldn't fit on the way up. He had to rest 3 times to get back up the stairs. So he's very.
Dallas said to me, you don't want me to get you to the hospital.
Yeah, that's true. There's one disease you can get just being in there. They test you as soon as you get in there, and if you're positive or negative, whichever, then they shuffle you up a certain direction. It's not good.
7 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order. We acknowledge that we are gathered on Treaty 1 and Treaty 2 territories, and that Manitoba is located on the treaty territories and ancestral lands of the Anishinaabe, Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, Oyate, Denisula, Ojibwe, and Nehetaowak. We acknowledge Manitoba is located in the homeland of the Red River Métis. We respect the spirit and intent of treaties and treaty making and remain committed to working in partnership with First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people in the spirit of truth, reconciliation, and collaboration. Okay, before we confirm the minutes, I just want to do a public service announcement. We had a meeting last night. We were unable to stream it. We had no internet access on this side of the building. As well, our CAO was storm stayed in Portage, so she wasn't here to facilitate the meeting, but she did participate over the telephone. So the minutes will be recorded and posted in due time. We had a greater breakdown, which hindered the municipality's ability to clear the roads after that storm. The one operator that we did have operating yesterday, he ended up sleeping in his vehicle in the shop here so he could continue working early in the morning as well. The other grader has now been fixed and he is out as we speak now, and he'll probably be done by midnight tonight. But they wanted to get all the roads in the municipality completed prior to the next snow event, which is coming tomorrow night. Okay, be it resolved that the minutes of the November 19th, 2024 regular meeting of council as amended, the November 28th, 2024 special meeting, and the December 3rd, 2024 special meeting Board of Revision be approved as circulated and posted. Somebody want to move that? Moved by Councillor Maxwell. We have a seconder. Seconded by Councillor Drohan. Any discussion about that? I'll just make one point here. The one amended portion of it is about the addition of the Chater Utility Public Utility Board rate study that was added to that one motion to show that it's not a rate yet. It's still going to the Public Utility Board for approval. So, call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Be resolved that the agenda be adopted as presented. Moved by Councillor Drohan and seconded by Councillor Brown. Call for the question. All in favor? That one's carried. Okay, it's only 7:03. The public hearing is scheduled for 7:10. I'm going to communications, yeah. Be resolved that council accepts the communications as presented.
Motion.
Motion by Councillor Brown. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Drohan. Any discussion? Any of those? The one about the EMO annual emergency plan. I'd like to meet with the EMO in the new year if we could.
Yeah, we're supposed to be having them come and have a talk with us. Yeah, so yeah, have to arrange that.
Good. Okay, so call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Still have 6 minutes. Do you want to do accounts and finance? Okay. You want to recuse yourself? Be it resolved that the payroll accounts be approved for payment as follows. Direct deposit payroll of November 28th, 2024, $15,995.02. Direct deposit payroll of December 12th, 2024, $14,389.07, for a total of $30,384.09. Do I have a mover? Moved by Councilor Drohan, seconded by Councilor Maxwell. Any discussion? Call for the question. All in favor? Carried. And I'll get Bob back here. Okay. Ooh. I don't have a total on that one, Holly.
Oh, yeah.
8.2.
Sorry.
Okay, we'll come back to 8.2 then in a minute. We're at 8.3.
So my computer's really slow. Really slow. So
Be it resolved that the unaudited financials for the month of November 2024 be accepted as presented.
Motion?
Motion by Councilor Brown, seconded by Councilor Drohan. Any discussion on that? Call for the question. All in favor? And that one's carried. Let's give Holly a minute to catch up.
one second.
I realized you were be that old.
Are you ready for 4.1?
Yeah. Wait, one. Yeah, 710.
Yeah.
I got that total for the accounts.
Okay, we'll come back to
You
that
want
one.
that?
That was 8.2. Okay, be resolved that the meeting be recessed for a scheduled public hearing on the following matter, variance order 00824C to variance order 04524C, Meadows of Chater and Peter Times.
Motion, public hearing.
Motion by Councillor Brown and seconded by Councillor Drohan. Call for the question, all in favor? And that one's carried. So we ask for people who want to speak in favor.
Yeah, I think Brad wants to kind of describe it a little bit for
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
Give a copy of the survey. If not, I have paper copies, but
Yeah.
so everybody can see. Pass those around.
It's the same one that you put in the notice, right? Yeah. Yeah, everybody has a copy. Well, it's just the other way.
There's no speech I have to read or anything, is there? There's no speech I have to read or anything, because we won the public hearing.
No, normally they do a bit of a process, but it's
Okay,
those in favor, those opposed.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this, these variances for conditionally approved subdivision already for the in Chater in the southwest corner. So lots 2, which will be north of 2nd Avenue, going left to right. So lot 2.1, the very left one, doing a variance for site width from 150 feet to 124 feet, and the site area from half an acre to 0.33 acres. On the right lot, lot 2.2, varying site width from 150 feet to 100 feet, and site area from half an acre to 0.33 acres. Lots 3 are on the west side of Kingdom Drive, going top to bottom. Lot 3.1, varying site width from 150 feet to 100 feet, varying site area from 0.5 acres to 0.34 acres. Lot 3.2, varying site width from 150 feet to 100 feet, site area from 0.5 acres to 0.34 acres. Lot 3.3, varying site width from 150 feet to 100 feet, site area from half an acre to 0.34 acres. Lot 3.4, varying site width from 150 feet to 100 feet, half acre to 3.34 acres. Lot 3.5, varying site width from 150 feet to 104 feet, and site area from half an acre to 0.33 acres. Lots 4 are south of Kingdom Drive in the center there, going left to right again, varying site width from 150 feet to 100 feet and half an acre to 0.49 acres. Lot 4.2, 150 feet to 100 feet, 0.5 acres to 0.49 acres. Lot 4.3, from 150 feet to 100 feet and half an acre to 0.49 acres. Lots 5 are on the right side there, just east of the easement and south of 2nd Avenue. Lot 5.1, we're varying site width from 150 feet to 102 feet and from a half an acre to 0.34 acres. 5.2, site width from 150 feet to 100 feet, half an acre to 0.33 acres. And 5.3 from 150 feet to 100 feet and half an acre to 0.33 acres. And lot 6 are starting at the bottom going clockwise. The bottom right lot or southeast lot is not included in this subdivision. So lot 6.1, varying site width from 150 feet to 100 feet, half an acre to 0.36 acres. 6.2, 150 feet to 100 feet, half an acre to 0.36 acres. Lot 6.3, only the half an acre to 0.36 acres. Site width is already 170 feet, doesn't require variation. Lot 6.4, site width from 150 feet to 111 feet. Site area from half an acre to 0.35 acres. Lot 6.5, varying site area from half an acre to 0.35. Site width is already 152 feet, so it doesn't require a variation. Lot 6.6, varying site width from 150 feet to 79 feet. Site area from half an acre to 0.38 acres. And lot 6.7, we're varying site width from 150 feet to 100 feet. And site area from half an acre to 0.34 acres. As stated, the subdivision 4116-228459 has already been conditionally approved by council and by CRP. The variations that are bring these lots into conformance. From a zoning perspective, there are a few concerns with the rest of the request for the variations, as long as the sewer and water is able to sustain these new lots, because you're doubling what's existing. It's recommended by community and regional planning that a development agreement be entered into with the registered owner. Environment, climate, water stewardship, requested obtaining an engineered subdivision development drainage plan, including design and analysis. And Manitoba Hydro will require easements with the landowner.
Any questions?
A lot there, but
Right.
yeah, I don't know if there's any concerns or anything with the public in the area, but that's what I have for you.
That's right. So I guess now anybody who wants to speak in favor of the,
I don't know if the applicant is here and they
Yeah.
want to
is the
speak
applicant
to
here?
applicant.
Okay, anybody want to speak in favor of the variance? Anybody opposed to the variance? You want to come speak?
Mr. Chairperson, I'm not opposed. I think this is just the inquiry or comment. There were previously 6 lots. They were cut in half more or less, so there's 12 lots now. When the local improvement went through, that went by local lots, I think was 75 or 76. Now there's an additional number of lots. How does that compare to the original lot number that went through the local improvement?
You said that there was 6 originally?
Original 6, and there's a couple more, so it's 12 now.
I mean, I think he created 7 new lots.
Yeah, there was-
Is it not 7?
Whatever, but in the meantime, there's extra lots.
Yes. Yes,
That were not in the original local improvement as such.
that's right, yeah.
So there's a discrepancy. The people paid for the local improvement in their costs, and now there's added lots, whatever. How does Mr. Tynes come up with extra, or is included?
So we couldn't include the lots when we did the local improvement because they didn't exist, right?
Yeah.
And so once it goes through and they do get subdivided, we will consider a fee that's comparable, but that bylaw and borrowing is already done. So chances are these individual lots will pay a fee to connect to this system. But yeah, they're not part of the bylaw, but they will pay a similar fee.
Okay, thank you.
So nobody spoke for or against, you just had a question.
I just have a question then with that comment Holly just made. Is, if you guys do pass this, is that comment that Holly just made going to be part of that resolution?
Let me read.
No, because we're just approving the variation. I mean, Brad, you might want to speak to this as well. We're just approving per the zoning. This is something completely separate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's, yeah.
The variation here is just for conditional subdivision. As for investment or payment into that, that's outside of the zoning. That would be probably included in your development
Correct.
Okay, any other questions from anybody?
I got one. What about all the septic stuff? Is it gonna be able to tie into,
Yes,
It's
yes.
going to be-
This will put that system at capacity.
Yeah, if I may, Mr. Chair, the original system was designed to have it there because previous council, I believe, approved that those would be.
80 holes.
Yeah. So we had enough capacity there already to do it, so.
He's just
he's
going
just
over
putting
it with the variances now?
It brings it to capacity.
And
It
then
puts
are
it at
there
capacity of what
any
they designed.
additional lands there that might be done for lots?
What do you mean?
Well, if this is being subdivided to make new lots, are there other parcels there that would be subdivided possibly too for new lots, and then you're gonna be above capacity?
No.
No,
Okay.
we can't approve it anymore. There are more.
Capacity would be able to
We can't, we can't serve.
I mean, you could apply, but you reject that at this level.
I might be speaking out of turn here, but we did have some trouble in 2011 when the flood was on. I know it's in lowland there at Shader. Probably the only person would be here. Bob, did we have some problems with Peter Tynes somewhere along the trail here that you would probably be on council? Well, wasn't there some problems with drainage? And some of the, I know they asked me to come and do some work on roads, and nobody had any plans how deep cables were, gas lines were, nothing.
There's a drainage, would have been somewhat a problem, but mostly it would have been groundwater that would have been the bigger issue.
Yeah, I know Pete had me go out and look at it, and I wouldn't touch it because there was no plans. What went underground there?
So be it resolved that the public hearing be closed at 7:21 and will return to the regular meeting. Do we have a motion? Motion by Councillor Drohan and seconded by Councillor Maxwell. Call for the question, all in favor?
So Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Who moved that? Sorry.
That was moved by Councillor Drohan,
And
by
seconded.
Councillor Maxwell.
7:22.
4.2.
No, I just marked the time that,
Oh,
that we ended. Okay. And it was carried?
Yes. There's nothing in 4.2.
Yeah, they canceled, so.
All right. We will move on to 8.2 then, a list of accounts. Be it resolved that council approve the list of accounts for expenses for checks numbered 12441 to 12503 for a total amount of $2,229,334.85. Good motion. Motion by Councillor Drohan. And seconded by Councillor Brown. Do we want to discuss any of that? Well, I signed them. A lot of them are school tax remissions. Yeah. Okay, call for the question. All in favor? And that one's carried. So that leaves us at 8.4. Be resolved that the November 2024 bank reconciliation for the general reserves and utilities accounts be accepted as presented. Motion by Councillor Drohan, seconded by Councillor Brown. Just a question, is there any update from Kerry on the 2022? On it? No? Okay. Call for the question. All in favor? That one's carried. Okay, be resolved that in accordance with section 163 of the Municipal Act, the council hereby adopts an interim operating budget for the year 2025 as follows. General government services for 200,000, protective services for 120,000, transportation services for 280,000, environmental health services for 60,000, public health and welfare services 28,000, environmental development services 35,000, economic development services 20,000, recreational and culture services 5,000, fiscal services 18,000, capital 100,000, utility 30,000. We have a mover. Moved by Councillor Maxwell,
Second.
seconded by Councillor Brown. Any discussion on that?
Just to say that it's the month that we have to go and do an interim budget until we have our set budget for 2025.
Good, thank you. Call for the question. All in favor? That was carried. Are you ready to proceed?
I don't know why it's so slow.
Whereas there is a balance of $8,710 in the well fob deposit account at December 31st, 2022, much of it relating to the collection of deposits prior to 2016. And whereas it is a responsibility of the fob holders to surrender the fob to obtain a refund, and many have not done so despite not using the community wells for a number of years. And whereas fob deposits and refund represent a small and immaterial amount of total revenues and expenditures in any year, and whereas the process for tracking deposits and refunds is disproportionately time-consuming versus the potential liability in any one year, therefore be it resolved that council authorize the auditor to move the balance of $8,710 to well fob revenue for the year 2022, and that should any refunds be required related to this amount, that they be expensed in the year of the refund. And further be it resolved that the audit similarly moved 2023 and 2024 balances of revenue, and that for future years, administration be directed to allocate at the time of the fob deposits are collected and refunds processed to the appropriate revenue and expense accounts. Do I have a mover?
Can you read that again?
I'll second it.
Moved by Councillor Drohan, seconded by Councillor Maxwell. Is there any discussion that you guys want to have on that?
I'm assuming this is an auditor's recommendation.
6, 7, 8 years.
I know Carrie has spent an insane amount of time trying to get to the bottom of that, and yeah, this is the culmination of all that work and the auditor's recommendation. We'll call for the question then. All in favor? Okay, ready for 9.1?
I think.
Be it resolved by law 1733-10-2024, being a bylaw to establish an aggregate revenues reserve fund, be hereby read a second time. We have a mover, moved by Councillor Maxwell, seconded by Councillor Brown. Any discussion? Call for the question. All in favor? Be it resolved by law 1733-10-2024, being a bylaw to establish an aggregate revenues reserve fund, be hereby read a third time. Motion by Councillor Drohan,
Second.
seconded by Councillor Brown. Any discussion? Call for the question. All in favor? That's carried. Okay. Be resolved that the zoning amendment bylaw 1730-04-2024 be tabled to a January 2025 after council has had the opportunity to further consult with legal and or planning. Motioned by Councillor Drohan. I have a second.
Second.
Seconded by Councillor Brown. Any discussion in that one?
We just need a little more time.
Yeah, we haven't had an opportunity to consult with our legal counsel on that. So we will be making a decision on that in January. Call for the question. All in favor? And that was carried. Be resolved bylaw 1735-12-2024, being a bylaw to establish new wastewater rates for the Chater Water Utility, be hereby read a first time. Motion by Councillor Drohan, seconded by Councillor Maxwell. Any discussion?
And we just needed a rate, so we've gone up with the study for the rate, and this is what it's going to be for the interim until we get better data in the future, but
This has to go to BUV.
That's great. We needed to do first reading in order for this to now go to the Public Utility Board for review. Any other points, questions? Okay, call for the question. All in favor? And that one's carried. Whereas the Brandon Islamic Center has made an offer to purchase for the sum of $1 the Cornwall's own land known as 1850 Frederick Avenue in the city of Brandon, be it resolved that the RM of Cornwallis hereby accepts this offer.
We'll make a motion to get it onto the table.
Motion by Councillor Brown. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Drohan. Any discussion?
Yes, even though we did put it on the floor, we're not really in to be giving land away for $1, so my motion is that we defeat this motion and it'll be registered as a defeated motion.
Okay, I'll call for the question. All in favor? All opposed? That was not carried. Okay, on to new business. Be it resolved that in accordance with section 8(1)D of the Emergency Measures Act, the emergency plan for the municipality of Cornwallis for 2025 be adopted as presented. Do I have a mover? Moved by Councillor Drohan, seconded by Councillor Maxwell. Discussion?
I believe they're going to be coming. You moved it, didn't you?
No, you moved it.
Oh, sorry, yeah. But, yeah, they are coming to discuss it further with us in the future. So,
Yeah, that's all
We'll
I
let them
wanted to mention too. We'd like to get them to come and do a presentation on it.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot in the plan that I don't understand, and I would like to get a better grasp on it.
Plus, we got a new emergency coordinator. I think we should at least see him.
Exactly. Okay, call for the question then. All in favor? That one's carried. Be it resolved that the municipality accepts the updated 911 services agreement Schedule A outlining the 2025 fees. We have moved.
Make the motion?
Moved by Councillor Brown and seconded by Councillor Drohan.
It was basically a 3% increase from 2024.
Any other discussion? Okay. Call for the question. All in favor? Be it resolved that council approves the recommendation of the Transportation Committee to include an additional mileage expense per the nuisance beaver policy for the $40 per beaver trapping expense. Further resolved that mileage expense be at the municipal mileage rate as submitted by the trapper for problem beaver removal from the trapper's home base to the trapping area. Do we have a mover?
I'll move that it should be returned though. Home-based return, like there and back. It doesn't say that, I think that's the intent. You get mileage to go back there and back. It appears there that it's just from his base to the area, one way.
Can we amend
From the trapper's home base
It sounds like.
to the trapping area. He's only going one way. He's trapped in there. And back and returned or and back.
So I make that motion.
Well, first we have to get this motion on the floor, and then you can make a friendly amendment. So is there, you've motioned this initial?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have a seconder?
For the amendment?
No, for this motion.
I didn't say that. Or-
Yeah, nobody's second.
Okay, so moved by Councillor Maxwell, seconded by Councillor Drohan. Now you have a friendly amendment you want to present?
I just want the word return out of it.
Yeah, it's fine, just, or I put and back, but
That's fine.
yeah.
Just got to refresh here so I see it.
It's showing that.
Where are we? Okay. Okay, so I've got a new motion then. Be it resolved that council approves the recommendation of the Transportation Committee to include an additional mileage expense per the nuisance beaver policy for $40 per beaver trapping license. Further resolved that mileage expense be at the municipal mileage rate as submitted by the trapper for problem beaver removal from trapper's home base to the trapping area and back. Do we have a mover?
That's me.
Moved by Councillor Maxwell, seconded by Councillor Drohan. Any discussion? Okay. we'll call for
Oh, sorry.
the- What's that?
I was gonna ask if it was carried. I thought you
Oh,
voted, sorry.
Call for the question. All in favor? That's carried. Whereas the 3-year contract for roadside herbicide application for weed control ended in 2024, and whereas the Public Works has the equipment to complete roadside cutting next season and can complete the weed control more effectively without chemicals, therefore be it resolved that council approve the recommendation of the Transportation Committee to plan and arrange for the weed control program to be roadside cutting instead of spraying for 2025 year.
I move that.
Moved by Councillor Maxwell,
I'll second.
seconded by Councillor Brown. Discussion?
Yeah, this is a recommendation from Public Works. I think it's easy to sell. It's environmentally friendly. And they're looking at doing 3 passes, which I think is wider than the spray room. And this is the idea they came up with, and I think it's great.
Yeah, and basically it'll be done at a most optimum time to control the spurge much better.
Yeah, just to follow up, sorry, it's gonna be done 3 times rather than 2, will be the difference. There'll be one additional cut, is the idea.
Yeah, for me, the whole weed control thing was a bit of a dilemma in that bang for our buck. I looked into the to the weed district, and that was double what we were paying to have a weed spray guy. But like you say, we've got the equipment and we're gonna get a better result. Yeah, I support the motion as well. Okay, I'll call for the question then. All in favor? No, it's carried. Be resolved that council adopt the changing and setting speed limit policy as presented and reviewed by the Transportation Committee. Motioned by Councillor Maxwell and seconded by Councillor Drohan. Discussion?
No, the policy's pretty clear and, well put together, and I think it's gonna standardize the way it's done when people make requests for certain roads to change speed limit. There'll be a discussion, possibly a delegation.
Yeah, just so we have uniformity on that.
Right.
On the speed limit changes, the office doesn't get confused with what should and shouldn't be done.
Yeah.
What is allowed and what isn't.
This is outside of what came out of the AMM, where municipalities wanted greater control over their,
Or roads through.
That was
Yeah.
urban centers.
That's a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Whereas Fred Gilbert Trucking is willing to extend the 2022-2024 gravel tender contract A an additional year with the same 2024 gravel per ton price of $16.81. Therefore, be it resolved that council accept the recommendation of the Transportation Committee to extend the Fred Gilbert Trucking contract to 2025. I have a motion. Motion by Councillor Drohan, seconded by Councillor Maxwell. Discussion?
These contracts are being extended at basically zero cost, so we're actually gaining a bit of money because there's no inflationary cost involved in the deal, so it's kind of a win-win for the municipality, and it allows the gravel to be done at a more appropriate time, as we see in the next resolution as well. So it's good. It's a good program.
Call for the question. All in favor? That's carried. Whereas Blue Star Construction Limited is willing to extend the 2022-2024 gravel tender B contract an additional year with the same 2024 gravel per ton price of $14.20. Therefore, be it resolved that council accept the recommendations of the Transportation Committee to extend the Blue Star Construction Limited contract to 2025. Motion by Councillor Drohan, seconded by Councillor Maxwell. Discussion?
I'll just add that Public Works is very satisfied with the two companies we have working for us, and they're quite happy with the staff.
They've done a good job. They know their staff. They've been around a very long time.
They got it really good.
Call for the question. All in favor? Seven is empty. Let's do 11.8. Be it resolved that council provide concurrence to Shared Tower Incorporated for the proposed STCM 168 70-meter telecommunications tower on the property located at 111101 Grand Valley Road.
Make that motion.
Motion by Councillor Brown, seconded by Councillor Drohan. Any discussion?
Improving the self-service.
Yeah, I looked at where it was located with longitude and latitude, and it's just off Hunter Road. Any other discussion? Call for the question then. All in favor? Carried. Oh, I don't have to read all that. Do I?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it's at the hearing one.
Yes. Whereas the applicants, the Meadow of Chater Incorporated and Peter Tynes and landowners, the Meadows of Chater Incorporated and Peter Tynes and Norfolk Lumber and Building Supplies Limited, of the property legally described as lots 5 to 7, 10, 11, 14 to 16, 18 to 20, 22, Plan 49-101, and Lot 1, Plan 48-248, applied to vary the zoning bylaw number 1664, 03/2016, as amended under Part 7, Table 7.2, in accordance with the following description. And those are the descriptions that Brad Roth read earlier when he was here. If somebody would like me to read them, I will. Okay. And whereas council held a public hearing to hear representation in favor or opposition to the application, therefore be it resolved that after careful consideration of the application and any representation made for or against, council hereby approves variation applications, variance order 008-24C through variance order 045-24C. Be it resolved that in consideration of any representation made at the hearing and of the application itself, council hereby approves the application. Motion by Councillor Drohan, seconded by Councillor Maxwell. Any discussion?
No, it's just been a kind of a long haul trying to get this to move forward as it's put in front of us. It's just gonna bring, when the lots get sold and that, it'll bring more tax dollars to VRM and it should be a good deal.
Okay, call for the question then, all in favor? Carried. Okay. Be it resolved that council provide concurrence for the request from Manitoba Hydro for 4M Farms 3-phase conversion. Moved by Councillor Drohan. Seconder.
Second motion.
Seconded by Councillor Brown. Any discussion? Okay, call for the question then, all in favor? This one was quite pleasing. Be resolved that the Public Works Supervisor, Shane Michelik, and the Transportation Committee Chair, Councillor Ed Maxwell, be approved to attend the Manitoba Good Roads Banquet and Awards presentation in Winnipeg on April 14th, 2025, to accept the Tournamount Cat Shield for the most improved municipal roads in District 3. Do we have a mover? Moved by Councillor Drohan,
I'll second the motion.
seconded by Councillor Brown. Any discussion?
Well, it's just a great feat to get an award of magnitude. I know we have had them in the past, but not for a while, so it's a feather in Public Works hat.
Indeed, yeah, I've heard lots of good comments about the work that the grader operators do. So yeah, this is good for them. So call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that council and the CAO be hereby authorized to attend the Manitoba Planning Conference to be held in Brandon, March 5th to 7th, 2025. Further resolved that all applicable registration and expenses be authorized in accordance with the council remuneration bylaw 1680. Motion by Councillor Drohan, seconded by Councillor Maxwell. Discussion.
This is just kind of a general planning conference. I was talking to Brad a little bit about it. So it'll kind of help everybody kind of understand what exactly happens with the KPD planning, and it's not a seriously advanced one, but it's a good knowledge for everybody to have kind of a base plan.
We do a lot of it here at this table.
Yeah.
I, for one, don't feel comfortable with the entire process, so I think it would be good.
It will help with that.
Definitely beneficial for us to attend.
That's 3 days worth of information. They had a 2-hour session at the AMM conference, which was really low level, and we need something like this, which is very in-depth to be able to understand planning better. So,
Yeah, it was a little more, AMM's was a little,
yeah, just general
yeah,
information.
it wasn't really, this is more focused for around here, and it's at the Victoria, so it's not very far away.
Yeah.
It's to be-
Call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Be resolved that the municipality accepts the Manitoba Ombudsman investigation report regarding the Chater Sewer Project and Lagoon, which concluded that after careful consideration of the evidence, we did not find the rural municipality of Cornwallis acted contrary to law or policy, and Manitoba Ombudsman makes no recommendations. Motion by Councillor Brown, seconded by Councillor Maxwell. Any discussion on that? Okay. Do you know if that report will be on the Ombudsman's website?
So this one is public. It is available for folks to look at. I have asked them if I can do that. They said yes. But if you want a copy of it, you'd have to ask them for a copy of it. I don't know what they're putting on their website. You could come and we could have you look at the copy here, but if you want a copy, an actual copy, you have to get it from the Ombudsman.
Call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Be resolved that council confirm the interim CAO's offer of employment to Samara Bressette-Lay for a position in the municipal office per the interim CAO's recommended wage with the terms and condition per the HR policy. Motion by Councillor Drohan, seconded by Councillor Maxwell. Any discussion?
When can she start?
Yeah. I'm working on that.
Yeah, we've had one of our staff leave and go to another employer. Another one of our staff members is going on maternity, so we've got to hire up. Call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Whereas the Reeves sanction removed him from all committees, including the KPD board's director position, therefore be it resolved that Councillor Bob Brown be appointed as a director on the KPT board. Be it further resolved that if an appeal of the sanction is filed and confirmed by the provincial appeals director, resulting in a stay of the sanction, then the Reeve shall return to the KPD board pending the resolution of the appeal. Do we have a mover? Moved by Councillor Drohan, seconded by Councillor Maxwell. Any discussion? Call for the question. All in favor? That's carried. Whereas administration has received a request to be notified by email for all meetings, and whereas notifications of upcoming meetings are available on the municipal website, therefore be it resolved that the request is denied, and further resolved that this resolution serve as a policy for individual requests to continually, each time the document is posted, send documents or information that are available on the website, such as agendas, minutes, and notices. Note that this is different than a one-time request for a copy of a specific document, such as an agenda or minutes. We have a mover. Moved by Councillor Drohan. We have a second. Seconded by Councillor Brown. Any discussion? Okay, call for the question. All in favor? Anything to gain time.
So.
There we go. Be resolved that in accordance with the Municipal Act, Section 152(3), council does hereby close the meeting to the public and move in camera at 7:54 PM to discuss personnel, a matter that is in the preliminary stages and respecting which discussion in public could prejudice the municipality's ability to carry out its activities or negotiations, the conduct of existing or anticipated legal proceedings, the conduct of an investigation under or enforceable of an act or bylaw, and the security of documents or premises, a report of the ombudsman received by the head of council. And further be it resolved that council agree to keep in confidence all matters discussed at this closed session.
Sorry, did you, it's up to you, like I have put that 12.2 on there. If you want to make a decision on that one, and then we can go in camera and I can
see.
turn the YouTube off. Otherwise,
Okay, yes, I see what you're saying. Okay, so disregard what I said. We're gonna go to 12.2. Whereas the municipality received a complaint regarding the animal control officer and police chief's handling of the hand dog impoundment and the subsequent dangerous dog hearing before council on September 17th, 2024. And whereas council has carefully reviewed the complaint and complaint responses, therefore be it resolved that council finds that the animal control officer and the police chief's handling of the dangerous dog was in accordance with the animal control bylaw, done with care, professionalism, and in the interest of public safety, and council finds no validity to the complaint. Motion by Councillor Maxwell, seconded by Councillor Brown. Anything you want to discuss regarding that? Okay, call for the question. All in favor? Carried. All right. Be it resolved that in accordance with the Municipal Act, Section 152(3), council does hereby close a meeting to the public and move in camera at 7:56 PM to discuss personnel, a matter that is in the preliminary stages and respecting which discussion in public could prejudice a municipality's ability to carry out its activities or negotiations, conduct of existing or anticipated legal proceedings, the conduct of an investigation under or enforcement of an act or a bylaw, the security of documents or premises, a report of the ombudsman received by the head of council, and further be it resolved that council agreed to keep in confidence all matters discussed at this closed session. Motion by Councillor Drohan, seconded by Councillor Maxwell. Call for the question. All in favor? Yep. Carried. We are in camera. You gotta skedaddle over that way.
We're going, you guys stay here.